Yes, where the head? When I take
And this man, can you mute? All right, thank you very much. You're all welcome. We'll wait for 8:30 and some few minutes for the others to also join before we begin today's workshop. Thank you. Hello, Cyril. We'll begin very soon. We'll wait for some few minutes for the others to join, then we start. Welcome, everyone. I hope I can be heard. So we'll start very soon. We'll wait for the others to join. Then, latest by 8:35, we'll start our workshop for today. I hope I can be heard. Please, if I can be heard, can I see some reactions? Yeah, so welcome to the new people who have joined. We are still waiting for the others to join. So in the next 2 minutes, we'll begin today's session. All right. Good evening, everyone. I hope we are doing well. Please, I want to check whether I'm being heard. If you can hear my voice, kindly let me know by showing some emojis or some reactions and let me see. Or you can unmute and speak to let me know whether I'm being heard.
Yes, please, you are being heard.
All right. Thank you very much. Welcome
You're
everyone to Welcome everyone to my last workshop as a 2024 Tableau Academic Ambassador. So over the past year, I have been organizing workshops and events to help students know about Tableau and how it is powerful in helping you do your data analytics and visualization. Next week, as we begin June, our contract will be over and applications for Tableau Academic Ambassador will open in the middle of June. So those who are interested can apply if you want to be a Tableau Ambassador. You can apply mid-June, the application will be opened, and I'll do my best to share the link to my community page or on my social media platforms so that you can also apply because it's a great opportunity. Today we are here again, and today we are going to look at my last workshop. It's a great topic I want to talk about because most of the times we work with dates. We do a lot of graphs which involve dates. We do our line charts. We do a lot of things. But we have to understand how to work with dates. Dates have different formats and they have different ways of visualizing databases which contain dates. And in this workshop, I'm going to educate us on how Tableau makes you using dates for your visualization easy and flexible, and how you can use it yourself to make all your visualization and even your time series analysis very, very easy for you to follow. I am Elvis A from Nkrumah, and this is my final workshop as a Tableau Ambassador for 2024. It's titled Working with Dates to Visualize Time-Based Data. So we are going to learn how to effectively work with dates to create visually appealing representations of time-based data. Here is something small about me. So I am a final year student at the University of Ghana and studying a combined major of computer science and statistics. Currently, I work with Green Energy Transitions Africa, where I'm a data science intern there. Previously, I was working at the National Society of Black Engineers Ghana, where I was doing some research and grants responsibilities there for them. Aside that, personally, I'm a data analyst. And on my social media platforms, I share more opportunities about data and BI stuff on social media network. Also, I may have a mentorship network where I mentor some few people, students preferably, but you can reach out to me on how they can begin their journeys and how far they can. Today's workshop is going to be exciting. We are going to be doing some small reading, then I'll share my screen, open Tableau, and do it myself so that all of us can follow. Don't worry, after the workshop, I would share the workbook I used, the Tableau workbook I used, and then I'll upload a video to my YouTube channel. And all of us can go and follow. This is the agenda. So we'll start by looking at what is discrete and continuous fields. And we'll look at visualizing date fields. What are continuous date values? What are discrete date paths? Tableau has a way of calling some date paths. So we'll look at all those things. And then finally, I'll let us also do it ourselves. So I'll do one work myself to show us how we can also do it ourselves. Then look at the final answer. Then we summarize our workshop for today. So that's what we are going to be doing. It's going to be quite exciting, but would begin very soon. So when it's 8:40, I think some people are still dropping in. So when it's 8:40, we begin today's workshop. All right. So we begin today's workshop. Now, to begin the concepts of dates, how dates are being used in Tableau, there are some two things we have to understand. And for some of us, we know this already, but just that Tableau causes something new. So data exists in several forms. We have continuous data and we have discrete data. So that's what Tableau calls continuous fields and discrete fields. So when we say continuous, we are looking at numbers. We are looking at things which can be visualized on an axis. So continuous numbers, ratio data, something like that. Now, when we look at discrete data, some of us call it categorical data. So that's the categories, that's the groups, that's the groupings we have. So let's say the weekdays is an example: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Country names, product categories, types of football teams. They are the varieties of things we have. So that's the discrete fields. Then you have to understand continuous fields. For the continuous ones are the values, as I've mentioned already. So 100 Ghana cedis, the prices of things, the quantity or the magnitude something has, that is what we call magnitude. Like that's what we call continuous values. Now in Tableau, we have our data in two forms, discrete and continuous. So I'll stop sharing my slide now, my screen now, and share my overall screen so that we can all see this. So as you can see, I would open, let me go to my desktop. So this is my desktop. So this is my Tableau interface. So I open my Tableau software. I'm using Tableau desktop, the 2024 version 0.3. So I've not done my updates yet, but with time I'll do it. Now I'll import a data set. I think even the workbook is already existing. So I would already open an existing Tableau workbook. So this will be using for our work today, the first one. So it's a data about American superstores. So just a sample data of the superstores, the name of the shops, their location. It goes down, 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 how they were shaped, the dates, and then we run down to the quantity, like in terms of discounts, profit ratio, quantity, and the sales they made. Now, Tableau calls the discrete values. They denote it by blue. So the discrete ones are blue. So the categories, for example, segments, this is a categorical data, is blue. That's why it's denoted blue here, right? Then the quantities, the what's the name? Continuous data, that is the what? The green. So if you can check from here, you see how the rows, there is segment. Segment is blue because it's a discrete variable. We have different segments. What are the segments? Because the segments are consumer, corporate, and what? Home office, right? And then the green field, the one which is denoted by green, is your continuous data. So the continuous one gives you the axis. So if you check here, the left axis is profit. So 0K all the way to 140K. So that's how it is. So for you to get this concept of dates, first, what have I said? Know what the discrete fields are. So the discrete ones are the categories: consumer, corporate, home office. They are categories of the field segment. So segment is discrete and segment is blue. Then for the continuous fields, that's the one denoted by green, and that is the profit side. Those ones give us the axis. So the continuous ones give us the axis, and the discrete ones give us the groups. At this point, I hope we are okay. If we get this concept, kindly show some reactions. Great. So that is what I was talking about in this slide. So that's what I was talking about in this slide. So you see that the discrete field is the blue one and the continuous is green. So discrete continuous. Discrete mostly goes to the column side since they are the groups. The columns are the groups. Then the continuous, which is the variables, they are the ones which come to the side, which is the row side. So that's the first principle we have to understand. Secondly, how do we visualize dates in Tableau? Tableau has two types of dates. So you can show dates as one, continuous date values. So the dates can be continuous and the dates can be discrete. I'll demonstrate all of this for us to see. So when we say date is continuous, it means that the part of the date you are visualizing. So for example, you are visualizing year 2024, 2025, you're only showing year. And the year is a value in which it's numerical. It's something we can even find a mid-value, mid-year, quarter of a year, and all those things. So at this point, year becomes a continuous value. And if a date is continuous, Tableau calls it a date value. If it is discrete, now when I say date parts, for example, May 23rd, May 15th, it's a date value, right? It's a date format, just that it's incomplete and you cannot mathematically find middle of it, you can't do arithmetic operations on them. So if I say May 15th, what is the middle of May 15th? You can't, right? Similarly to the months of the year, right? It's January to December. You can't calculate January times December. You can't calculate January times March. Do you get it? So the different groups of months, the different months we have, that's January to December, are discrete groups. So in that case, a date becomes a discrete value. Please, at this point, if you have any question, you can ask before I continue. All right, it means you are all good with this. So kindly take note. We have continuous dates and discrete dates. Tableau calls the continuous ones date values. For the discrete ones, Tableau calls them date parts. Also, previously I said that when the field is discrete, Tableau denotes it by a blue color. If it is continuous, the color is green. The field color is green. Kindly take note of it. Now, let's go to the continuous ones. So for the continuous date parts, those ones are chronological. So I've said this already. They are green, and then they can be displayed on a continuous line. So in my next slide, I'll show us how an example of a continuous date part. So how GDP, and that's gross domestic product, how a yearly GDP of a particular country is shown on a line chart. So you can see here. In this case, you have seen, quick question. Is my slide clear? Can you see the chart very well? If not, I'll demonstrate it with my Tableau. Please kindly let me know if you can see the chart well.
Yes, we can.
Great. Thank you very much. So for this case, you see that the dates, so the years, from the beginning of the years to the very last year, they are date parts because one, they are in a chronological order, and you can find in between the years. You can do arithmetic. So you can find the middle of 2004, 2005, 2005, 2006. Now, in cases in which you can visualize this on a line chart and on the column and rows, you see it is both green. You can see year of the date. That means that it's green. So if it's green, it means it's continuous. In this case, then we are saying that the date occurs as a continuous date value. I'm coming again. For continuous date values, simply put, you can show them on line charts. If it is discrete, I'll show you another chart which you can show it as. So continuous because you can do arithmetic with the dates, and the dates make meaning in the sense that you can analyze your data in terms of your date. You can interpret your data in terms of your date. So you can say, looking at our charts, it was having a sharp increase until in the year 2008, from 2008 to 2009, there's a sharp decrease before the marginal increase continued again. So in this case, date is occurring as a continuous value. Similarly, Tableau can let you visualize your date as discrete date parts. So if it's discrete, it calls it date parts. For example, months, weekdays. So January, weekdays, sorry, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you get it. So for the different days of the week we have, they are like different groups. So that's why we call them date parts. That's why we say they are discrete, because they are different groups or different varieties of the particular thing. So we have different days. So it's a discrete date part. For months, we have 12 months, different months having unique names. So discrete, in that case, the date is a discrete data type. So it's a discrete date part. So with all this said, I'm now sure we have gotten the meaning of discrete date part and then continuous date value. So if it's continuous, it's date value. If it's discrete, it is date part. Now, what Tableau does is that when you understand this, it's quite easier to be doing your charts. For example, look at this chart. If somebody sees this chart comes into your mind for the columns, you see the first column, there's something there. Can somebody tell me the type of chart this is? Is it continuous or is a discrete date we are showing here? You can unmute and speak. Anyone can unmute and speak. So tell us whether it's a continuous date part we are showing here or it's a discrete one. Is someone speaking? Bismarck, do you want to speak? Is someone speaking? Yeah, you can speak now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I think it's a discrete graph because it includes the months.
Great.
Which is also shown in blue, as you said before.
Great. Correct. You have done very well. So that is the answer. It's a discrete date part. Now I want us to observe this chart very carefully. You see, when it was continuous, we're showing it on a line chart because it was a line and it was years. Now, in this case, it is in terms of months. It's discrete. We get it. But you see, I've been saying that discrete data, it shows you different categories. So even here, you can see that although we are showing the data of months, the sales they've made, so the sum of sales they've made in every month, even seeing it in terms of the years. So here, it is treating the years as the different groups we have. So although we are showing the months, but in January, we can check which year did January have more sales. You can see which one had least sales in terms of the year in which month. So if you see April like this, April, which one has least? Now I want all of us to observe in the year 2017, right? Which month had the highest sales? You can unmute and speak.
I think September and November had the highest. It looks like September is slightly higher than November.
Great, great. So September is higher. I think September is the highest in 2017. Also, I want you to consider again in the years when you're looking at it, which month has the highest sales? Anyone can unmute your phone.
November had the highest sales in 2020.
Great. So in this one, you see that November has the highest sales. So in all the months, November is a month in which people make more sales. So like as a data analyst like this, you would have to advise the company, okay, so when it's getting to November, let's try to have more promotions. Let's try to do more marketing stuff to help us boost the sales. Somebody too can look at this data and tell the company that, what are we doing in September, which is generating so much sales? Probably somebody will say, oh, November has more sales because getting to November, people start preparing for Christmas. And so they start buying a lot of things down before the season. And as a data analyst, you have to convey this insight to the business venture or the people you are working for. And so Tableau makes this thing very, very easy for you as a data visualization and business intelligence tool. And doing this, you are able to derive insights from your data in a very easy and concise way. Now we are continuing. Somebody will ask, so Elvis, when do I use continuous date parts and when do I use discrete? Very, very simple. Look at my two tables there. I have explained it in a very easy and precise way. If you want to show continuous data, it means that you want to show trends. So first of all, your data has to have a date as part of it. Your data has to have a date as part of it. For example, if you have collected data of company sales, right? Their sales data about a particular product, let's say Vitamilk, they've collected data about the purchases people have made. You have to include a column on date. So let's say on 3rd January, 1,000 Ghanaians, there were 1,000 yogurts produced, and they were all sold out. So before you even do the continuous side, make sure you have a date as part of your data. I hope that is clear. Please, if this is clear, I want to see some reactions. You can show me some emojis. Continuous, you have to have a date as part of it. Great, 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 great. Now, with this understanding, second question, you want to show trends. Now, we show trends to help companies understand that there is actually a problem they are not looking at carefully. So, for example, for the chart here, you see that in a particular year, there was a dip. And so as a data analyst, when you visualize this, you're able to tell the company, oh, I think in this year, we had a decrease in sales. It calls for an investigation and calls for us to do in-depth analysis. And so doing the visualizing the continuous parts, this is where you are a boss. This is where the continuous stuff come in. Somebody too can say that I want to show the trend, but I want to show the trend in terms of quarters. So you can do quantitative to that's continuous in terms of quarters. So you can show the first quarter of the year, second quarter, third quarter, and how the sales is changing. All these things help you find the trends, help you do in-depth analysis, and help you even find outliers in some cases. For example, there can be a year in which sales were too much. For example, let's say you have gotten 50,000 January, February 50,000. Then you see that in April somewhere there is $1 billion as sales. You should be very careful. You should be suspicious because probably in your data sets, the data in which it wasn't typed well, instead of let's say 10,000, they wrote 100,000, and then it will accelerate everything and make your data very, very big. So let's understand it today. The continuous ones help us show trends. So for continuous date, the date values, we want to show trends in data and help people find out what is influencing these trends. I hope that is all fine. Now, secondly, we want to look at when do we use dates as discrete date parts. So we use this as discrete date parts when you want to compare. So for example, you are a data analyst for Cowbell, right? Now, Cowbell has several products. Cowbell strawberry, Cowbell coffee, a lot of Cowbell products. Now, you want to check their seasonal sale trends. So from January to December, in terms of the three products, which of them is generating more sales? So that you tell Cowbell that let's be producing Cowbell coffee more because Ghanaians like Cowbell coffee, right? You want to see, I think people are not liking Cowbell banana, so let's stop producing it because would be over budgeting or under budgeting, which will affect our financial status. And so as a data analyst, you have to be very analytical. You have to be very inquisitive in quotes. So here's where the discrete data first comes. You show them the data in terms of the year. So I'm saying that, oh, so for 2024, we made a lot of money when we sold Cowbell coffee. Specifically, you can say in the month of January. And then the questions will come. So why is it that January has a lot of sales? And then you can start asking your questions, your whys, a lot of whys. Then you go and do your in-depth analysis to know why that thing is happening. So kindly take note that the discrete date parts help you know how to compare things in respect to a particular measure. At this point, I hope we are all fine. If you have any question, you can unmute and speak. Great. Seems we don't have any question. Now, the date parts and the date values. I would stop here and share my screen again and go to my Tableau software for us to see. I hope my screen can be seen. Can you let me know if you can see my screen? Hello, can you see my Tableau interface? Please, anyone can unmute and let me know.
Yes, please, we can.
All right, thank you very much. So I'll create a new sheet, right? I want us to see the order dates. So I'll put order dates at column, and then in terms of sales, so simple. Now this is continuous. I know you understand this already, so we can see this already. Now fit view. I want us to, in the next slide, we are going to see how to change from discrete to continuous. So I'm coming. We want to change our data type from discrete to continuous. I hope we can all see that here we are showing it in a continuous scale. Now, if I want to change to discrete, you see the arrow here, the arrow at the date side. I click on it, and then I'll look for the side with the discrete date part. So check here. Here is discrete. All the ones here. Year, quarter, May, month, day, then more discrete parts are here. So Tableau lets you see the difference. So for the discrete ones, they are, sorry, here are continuous. Sorry, my lips. So here are continuous. So continuous, year, quarter, month. So here it's looking at month and year as continuous. The same thing, year, quarter, month, week number, day. You can see it as discrete. So the first 5 are continuous, the last 5 are discrete. So continuous, then discrete. So let's change to month. So now here we are seeing it is green. So we can see it as continuous sides. Then if I come here, I want to see the same month as terms of discrete. So if it's discrete, this is how it is. Now I don't want to see it as in terms of a line. I want to see it in terms of a bar. So I do this. I'm going over again. We are showing months. First 4, they are the continuous. Last 4, discrete. So I want to show discrete days, right? So here the days are very discrete in terms of how they show. Coming here, sorry, here rather. They are discrete in terms of how they show. So you are showing the individual days of the month from the beginning of the month. So that's first year to 31st. Coming to the last set, so I want to see it in terms of continuous data. Continuous, we want to see it in terms of day. So it will show a line of how each of them is rising in terms of the day. So here you can see which day did we make a lot of sales. That was 18th March 2017. You can change this to any format. Let's say we want to see discrete quarter. So this is the first quarter of 2017, second quarter, third quarter. Then it goes like that. So fourth quarter, then to the very end. Now, I'm going to give us the flexibility for anyone can unmute and speak. What do you want me to show? Do you want me to show discrete parts, continuous parts? Then let's play around more before we continue with our presentation. Anyone can unmute and speak. Is anyone speaking? Miss Mark, do you want to speak? Anyone? What do you want me to visualize? Should I show a continuous year? Anyone? All right, so I'll do 2 for us to see again so that we are all quite well with this. So And this side, this demo, I want us to show how we can change from discrete to continuous dates to show people how it is. So for example, I'll come here, the first 4 and the last 4. So the first 4, discrete first, last 4, continuous. So we can show discrete here. And if we say discrete here, it means that we are not showing it in terms of line, but in terms of the different groups we have. So for example, even with this discrete side, let me see, I want to show the segment. So color, I'll send segment to color. So we can see the segment. So consumer, corporate, home, uh, home service, I think it's home office, then home office, and then the consumer and corporate. So discrete. I'm sure all of us have gotten it here. Same thing again. Let's do discrete quarter. So first quarter of the year, second quarter of the year 2017, third quarter to the final quarter. We are seeing it in terms of segments. So that's how it is. Similarly, continuous again. I want to show different categories. So now here we can see we have furniture, office supplies, technology, right? And you can go on and add a lot. I can add subcategories where it allows me to see this, how the individual subcategories of the things in the superstore, how they are. Now, that is it for. Now, that is it for the continuous, the discrete. Now, let's go to continuous. Continuous is the last set, the last 4 here. And for year, I want us to see the year in terms of our line chart. So this is a line chart of the year. Now for year, we know it's green here. So it means if the date part is green, it means it's continuous. So I'm sure we have gotten it here. Now we are showing trends. We want the company to see the trend. So you can show the trend by the sales. You can even add another quantitative measure. So for example, I want to see by the profit we also made too. So another line for profit will come, right? Now you see that we can now visualize this in terms of profit and in terms of sales. And that's what Tableau allows you to do. It gives you the flexibility to view all these trends and even specify the type of data you want to see. Do you want to look at it in terms of year, in terms of quarters? And that's what makes your work very, very easy. Now I'll go back to my PowerPoint and then we can continue with our slides. So we'll continue with our slides again. So we have gone over discrete and continuous. We have looked at discrete, date part, continuous, when to use discrete, when to use continuous. And now we have looked at how to change from a date part, that's a discrete side, to a continuous part, that's date values. So we can see here, date part, so date parts and then date values. At this point, I hope we are all okay. Please, if you get what I've said so far, please show some reactions. I want to make sure we are all on track. Please, if you have any question, you can ask. Yeah, please, you can unmute.
Sorry, I was just trying to react.
All right, thank you very much. So that is it. Now, we are in the middle of our workshop here. We'll finish very soon. Now, we want to, okay, I think I've spoken about this, how to change from discrete to continuous. Now, calendar types. All of us here agree that we have different calendar types. For example, some people here believe that the dates of the weekdays begin from Sunday. Please, if we are here, let's see our hands. Some of us, we believe our date begins from Sunday. So in some of our calendars, we believe our weekdays begin from Sunday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Others too have dates which begin the week by Monday, right? These ones are different date types, right? They are different variety of dates. Now, if your date is the one which starts from January, normal January, and Monday is the first day of the week, it means that your calendar is what Tableau also uses. It's the default one. That's the Gregorian one. But the one in which it starts with the Sunday, or even if you want to even specify the day you want your week to begin in, you can use the ISO format. So I'll show us how to change to the ISO calendar format too. And this one, it will affect your all the worksheets, all the visualizations, everything you'll be doing. So in selecting calendar day and date defaults, you can change from Gregorian to the ISO 8601 calendar. And this change will apply to all your worksheets. It will apply to your date fields, context menus, and filters. Now, kindly take notes. You know, in Ghana here, our date type 2 is also one thing. We do day, month. Most people, I say, most people do day, month, then the year. In the US, they do it in terms of year. It can be day, year. It can be month, day, year. Month, day, year, rather. Right? And Tableau allows you to specify how you want your own to look like. So if you want to show whether you want to let us know, let's look at this in terms of we beginning the day of the week from Monday. How do you want to show it? You want to show Monday, 1st January 2024. That's what you want to show. But sometimes you want to change, you want to let it be 2025 month and year. All these days formats are there, and I'll show us in the next demo how we can do it. So we'll go to our data pane, we'll look at field drop, and we'll change to the calendar we want. So I'll share my screen again. I hope you can see my screen. Good. So this is my screen. I'll create another sheet, sheet. I want to show us the order dates in terms of, let's do quantity here, right? The chart is too small. I'll change it, fit view. So now it has fit my whole view here, and we can all see. Now, when we come here, this is our data pane. Data pane is, it gives you an overview of all the columns in your data. So Tableau, like Excel, the way you have all the names of your column. In Tableau, the names of the columns are here. Customer name, location, down to here. So the alphabetical ones, the alphanumeric ones are these ones. Then your numeric data, your discrete data, your continuous data is the second part. So that's the green hash here, including this latitude, longitude. They are geographic data. But all these ones are, we have created some sets here and all those things. But all these ones are columns. This is a hierarchy in Tableau. All these are columns which are in our data, which are discrete. So all of us are cool with this. Now, we want to change from our date format. So I've come to my data pane. Now, if you observe, there is a sample superstore here. This is the name of our data set. So here's your data set, and these are the table columns. So here's your data set. I right click here. When I right click, you see a lot of options. Refresh. If I want to refresh, I've refreshed. Edit data source, create an extract, all those things. Now, when you come here, you would see date properties, right? Right. So now see here. For this side, you see here's the Gregorian one. So this is what we use. We say our week starts from Sunday, right? So you can change it. Our year starts from January. Our year starts from January. Then you can change it. So it's automatic. Now, the ISO is what you decide. So for ISO, your day starts from Monday. So your data set, if you are collecting your data starts from Monday, your days. You choose this days format. Simple for you. Gregorian, Sunday. And with Gregorian, you can change. So you can say, no, my day of the week, I want to start from Saturday. That's you. But your year starts, you want your year to start from December. Anything, you have the flexibility. Now, the second thing I was talking about, your date formats. We have short date, long date. You see here, the month. So if you see 3/14/2004, it is month, year, month, it is month, day, year. Because you see, we can't have month 14. So it is rather month, day, year. That's how it's done in the US. So that's how they like their date format. You can also change it. You can do your custom 1 year. You can do, there are several dates formats here. We cannot see. You can see there's custom here. So custom, you can specify, I want it to be month, year, day, anything. And so Tableau gives you the flexibility to do all these things. I'll go over again. So now I'll right click here. I'll come to date properties. Then when I come here, I'll choose, let's do Gregorian, but my date format, I want it to be Wednesday. Wednesday, then the month and the day and the year. The moment I click OK, it will affect all the charts I'm coming to create. It will affect everything. So you see that now you see the charts we have done previously. Now you see everything is changing to in terms of month and year. And that is what Tableau does. Tableau makes your data visualization very flexible, very easy, and even a beginner can actually get on board and even do this on their own. So this is a short demo. If you have any question, you can unmute and speak. If you want me to try something for you to see anything, please feel free to unmute and speak, or we can continue.
Please, I have a question.
All right.
So in Tableau, you don't have to calculate for the dates and sometimes the days, I think, as compared to Power BI, because Power BI, I know there's some parts where sometimes you have to calculate for the dates and maybe the week or something.
So if you want to, okay, so thank you for the question actually. So it depends on what you are doing. When you say calculate for dates, I don't know. Sometimes it depends on how you collect your data. For example, if I've created a Google form, automatically Google Forms, they'll collect your date and time you collected the data. When you bring it to Tableau for your visualization, it's easy because automatically Tableau will capture the date format and load it into the date type and do everything for you. You don't have to necessarily create a calculation to handle that date. You can do calculations in Tableau, but for dates, since you're able to customize it into what you want to see, it is quite easier. I think I've answered your question, right?
Yes, you have. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Now we'll continue with our work. We'll go to our slides to continue with our presentation. So we have looked at the types of dates which exist. We have looked at the Gregorian calendar. We have looked at our normal calendar, how it is, and how you can specify it. The reason why I'm teaching this is because sometimes the data set you get, maybe you're working for somebody, you're doing some side gig, you're a freelancer. When you're working for some countries, they mostly use the date types we in Ghana here are used to. You know, you do it 21st January, so 24,5, 2005. In Ghana here, we are used to day, month, year. But you have to know that some parts of the world don't do that. So you have to know how to convert their data into what you want to see, so that as a data analyst or somebody who is doing your data analysis, you are doing your BI stuff, you get the flexibility to do the thing on your own and then benefit from it yourself. Now at this point, we want to do more flexible things. We want to do more analysis with our data. So I would continue. So our next 2 slides, we'll do analysis. I'll add some filters, and then I'll be filtering more for as it is. So I'll do more color filters and for us to see. Then we'll go to the next slide. So I'm sharing my side. So I'll create a new sheet. Now I want to show the same order dates. Where's order dates? In terms of profit, so profit is here, right? When you come here, you do entire view, so you can see it here. Now, here, let's say I don't want to show it in terms of discrete. I want to show year continuous. Now, for the year, no, I want to show it You see, year is big. I want to break it down. You see, I've broken it down. The year and I've broken it into separate dates. So you have seen it here. So I've filtered by quarter. Somebody too can say, I want to see the categories. So I would look for category here, drop it on color. And you see down, you have different lines for it. And so it makes your charts very, very easy, very, very nice. And it gives you the flexibility to do this and even more. I'll do something else again. I'll come here. I'll say, no, I don't want my dates to be in terms of this. I want the normal dates. So you see it is like this, right? And I've done it in terms of months now. You can visualize the trends in terms of the various products. Now in this chart, it's showing you that in 2020, the three categories had higher values, higher profits, and it can help you do your analysis and all those things. They can filter and filter and filter. A lot of categories, a lot of segments, a lot of things you want to see, and all these are part of the special things Tableau allows you to do as a data person. Now I've added a filter called category. So I want to show the filter. It will come here. So let's see for furniture, right? Office, right? Technology. And in this way, your work is quite easier. You're able to visualize. It brings the interactivity and it's quite easier. Secondly, now let me do another thing for discrete date part. So order date again. You see here is discrete year. Let me do it discrete month, right? I want us to show the quantity. Okay, let me see sales. The amount of sales they've gotten. I don't want a line. I want to show a bar chart. Then I want to show it for the different categories of products we have. So I'll see I've held category under product here. I drop it on color. So you see everything. Tableau is very easy. Drag and drop functionalities, very easy to do. So now you have seen here that from January to December, look at how the categories of products have sold. See that in March, they bought a lot of tech stuff in March. Come here, November, quite a lot, but I mean, the furniture too are there. And you can continue and do a lot of analysis of this. So you can break all these things down, do more analysis, do more in-depth stuff to be able to convey more insights to the people you are working for, to be able to convey more insights to the company you might be working with. And Tableau helps you a lot in these type of things. And in you working with it, it's quite easy and it makes your work very, very flexible. Now I'll continue with my slides. And now we'll look at the last aspect before we come to the end of the workshop. And with the demo I did, I hope we are all okay with it. If you have any question, you can kindly let me know before we continue. All right, so we continue. All right, so we continue. Now, about to continue, we want to look at the final part. So we have done the more colors and filters. So now the final part, how do we filter on discrete date parts or date values? So now in filtering, there are some things you have to know, some things we must do as data people when it comes to filtering. And that's what we are coming to do next. Now, kindly take notes. You can filter on different things. So first thing, filtering on a discrete date part. So I would go and do a quick demo. I want to demonstrate for us. I don't want us to really be doing slides. Let's demonstrate. So I'll come here, right? So let's show columns. So here, let me do it month. Then in terms of profit, right? So I drag profit, I paste it here. I don't want this, I want, yeah. So this is the profit they have gotten. Now this is discrete. For the discrete, I want to filter on the discrete something. So I'll come and drag and put subcategory here. I want to show all of this. So I show filter. Now this is it. For this, you are able to see the different subcategories. Now let's say I want to add another category, the main one, main category here. Gives me 3 charts. So now I'll off all. Let's say I want to see chairs, how chairs are behaving. I look at this, copiers. I look at this. I look at the end. Tableau allows you to visualize all these trends so that you are able to comment more. In this case, let me show the show filter here. Now, in this case, you have seen here that the legend is showing category. So furniture is blue, office is yellow, and I think yellow or orange. Then technology is red. Now, can somebody comment, looking at this, which of the categories has more profit, is giving the company more profit? You can unmute and speak.
I think it's the technology.
Great. Now, we can see from this chart that you're seeing that no, technology is actually doing well. And now, as a data analyst, this is your first step. You have seen technology. Now, even in technology, you have seen that in a particular month, technology sales and technology profits went so high. Which month was that? You can see here the highest, which is what? October. Excellent. Now, even in October, somebody wants to see, okay, so if October is the highest, what is causing October to be so high? And even in October, which product is giving October this high sales, right? You want to compare. So now, the categories, they have subcategories. So even in technology, let me come to technology. So technology is the highest. Are giving them more sales, like in terms of the value, like which of them is giving them more things. So now I'll come to subcategory, come and drop it on color. Let's see, I've dropped it on color. Right. Now on color here, I've highlighted only technology. You have seen that even in the technology, there's a particular subcategory which is giving us more profit. Which one is that?
Copiers.
Great. So copiers. So copiers is giving us more money. Machines is dwindling, is depleting, is going down with time. And then you can see that accessories and phones are quite increasing marginally, although it's a zigzag. It's a steadily growing zigzag. And these are some of the things you can do as a data analyst with dates. Dates allow you to work with dates in this type of discrete continuous things. Allow you as a data analyst to do this and do it very, very well. And so that's what Tableau allows you to do. And Tableau allows you to do this very, very well and very, very beautifully. Now I'll wrap up. Let me see whether there are other things I have to talk about before we close today's workshop. Now we are coming to the last parts of our presentation. I think I'm almost done. Yeah, so we have looked at how we can filter. So I filtered on different things for you to see. Now I want to try something. We want to look at, I think we have done this already. I think I've done the first one already. Looking at the sales by month. I want to look at the trends in the last 4 years. So we are looking at question 2. Practice exercise for all of us. We want to look at the trend in terms of the years. Trend for sales in terms of the years. So show the trend in sales for the last 4 years and analyze the results. So I'll share my screen again. I open my Tableau software. I create a new sheet. So here, I want to go to other dates. I drop date here. So here, it's a discrete. I don't want discrete. I want continuous. Then continuous, I want to show sales. So I drag and drop sales here. Now, I've dragged and dropped sales here. You have seen sales has been having quite a zigzag relationship. Now, we want to show sales. What's the question? Show sales for the first 4 years and analyze the results. Now, we'll break sales down. So in terms of quarter, the years, in terms of month of the year. So we are showing year, but we have expanded year. So 2017, you see February, it goes March, everything for all the 12 months, we see the trends, right? So here we are seeing the trend in the last 4 years in terms of their sales and in the months. So each data point, each tip, each edge is the year. So in 20 is the month. So 2020, February, January, we can do all these things. And this is how we answer. Now we have done the chart. Now, how do you analyze as a data analyst? What do we comment on? Which year had the highest sales? Who can unmute and tell me the answer? Let's get interactive. Let's answer. Anyone can unmute. Which year has the highest sales?
I think 2021 had the highest sale.
Great. And even in the 2021, because we are visualizing the continuous month, we can see that particular month, which was what? November, right? And even the amount is here. And that's 118,448. And so this is how you do analysis. This is how you're able to convey your insights. And that's how we answer the question which was for us in the presentation. Now we are wrapping up. I think this was the last part before we close today's.
I have a question.
All right, you can ask.
So in conveying the insights, do you have to write a report?
Yes. Yes. So as a data analyst, we have methods we use, like how you do your work. So you collect your data. People have different ways they call them. If you do Google, so this is our final answer we're supposed to get. If you do Google's data analytics course, they'll teach you first ask questions, prepare your data, and all those things. The last part is sharing your data. And as a data analyst, you can share your data in terms of reports and dashboards. So you do a PowerPoint presentation. You include the charts, the important charts you get from here. Tableau allows you can download the charts into any format you want, PowerPoint, anything. You add it to your PowerPoint presentation, you talk about it, and then it's easier. Somebody too can do a report. So a report is like you can build a dashboard where people can see the trends. You add several charts, make some nice color combinations so that people can see your insights in terms of your dashboard. And that is another way of making your work too very easy. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, you have.
Yes, so you can do adding a PowerPoint. Some you can do a Word document, but they add a chart. That's like when you're doing proposals or something, you're writing a report, you can add those type of things, those NGO reports. Now, what have we done today? Today's workshop, we looked at working with dates to visualize time-based data. We said that in Tableau, we have 2 types of ways we can visualize dates, as continuous date values or discrete date parts. When it's continuous, you can see it on an axis. If it's discrete, there are different groups or categories or headers. If you want to show trends, it's continuous. If you want to compare stuff, it's discrete. You can change date formats. We mentioned the Gregorian, where your day of the week starts from Sunday. We have the ISO 8601 format. in which your day of the week starts from Monday. Tableau gives you the flexibility to also include when you want to specify how your day should look like. Do you want to do day, month, week, month, day, year, month, all those type of things? The flexibility is actually there. We look at how we can filter our data in terms of categories, other things, and we concluded our workshop by doing a mock-up, getting interactive, and how we can add some features to make our line charts, our visualizations quite easier. Now, this is up to you. I want 2 or 3 people to unmute and tell me, what are you going to